Thank you very much for coming today, and we are very grateful to Pfizer for helping make this panel topic luncheon possible today. Pfizer continues to challenge all of us to rethink how we get old and how to live better. And today marks another in a series of health-related discussions.
Like most developing countries, Tanzania faces a myriad of challenges in ensuring universal coverage towards the older population. In this regard, the government is partnering with local and international organizations in supporting the older population in different districts and regions of our country. For example, in June this year, HelpAge International, in collaboration with Pfizer, launched a 2-year program aimed at reducing the impact of non-communicable diseases, NCDs, among older people in Tanzania. These efforts are in line with the government's commitment in reducing the impact of NCDs on the aging population.
Aging is not about the future, it is about the present. If no appropriate actions are taken, we will miss an excellent chance to leverage the opportunities and overcome the challenges. These key messages presented at the launch of UNFPA's and HelpAge International's report, Aging in the 21st Century, A Celebration and a Challenge, clearly illustrate why population aging must be included in the post-2015 development agenda. Not including older persons is a violation of their human rights. It ignores their economic potential. It ignores their contribution to society. And it's a terrible waste of valuable resources. The world is quickly becoming much older. We need to respond to this demographic shift and ensure that the post-2015 development agenda takes a human rights-based life course approach with goals, targets, and indicators that respond to different stages of life, including old age. Aging is not about the future, it is about the present. We can no longer afford to ignore older persons.
What struck me, and quite rightly from UNFPA, Anne, was, the real call for goals, targets, indicators, and the disaggregation of data based on gender and age. But what struck me also was you talked about national capacity. And I come back to the presentation by the former Prime Minister, who talked about capacity in terms of HelpAge and Pfizer coming together. And in many respects, that is a prime example of how national capacity, can be expanded through partnerships and engagement. So we would call on HelpAge and also Pfizer and the government of Tanzania to ensure that the appropriate goals, targets, outcome measures are within that program of over 12 months.
You're talking about post-2015 agenda, and I'll start with the statistic, which says that there will be more people over the age of 65 than children under 5 by 2015. By 2050, there will be an estimated 1.5 billion people aged 65 or older. This will significantly increase the burden of global diseases, such as non-communicable diseases or other health issues such as mental illnesses. This is true not only for the developed countries, but also for the low and middle income countries. The opportunity here is also very significant. Some of the recent reports, such as Pew Report published in 2012, finds internet use and mobile phone use growing in aging populations as well. Researchers show that more seniors are using the internet, including using social networking sites and emails. Half the adults age 65 or older are online. Most seniors are making internet as a regular part of their lives. 7 in 10 older adults own a cell phone. This is up from 57% 2 years ago. 1 in 3 online seniors use social networking sites as well, which includes Facebook and LinkedIn. The mHealth Alliance is based at the United Nations Foundation, from where I belong, and we work as enablers of mobile health for emerging global health issues. And we are working currently with Pfizer on a number of white papers to understand the needs of mHealth in aging and how we can strategize this agenda.
I was very, very struck as I was sitting at the table and listening to the discourses being offered to us, that there is a slightly different debate, perhaps, that we need to engage with. And so I invite you to go on a little journey with me. This is an alteration, basically, of what I intended to do. I have here in the first line of my speech, aging and older populations are a triumph of development. But actually what I want you to do actually is to invite you to think about the context of whether older people are a resource. Are older people other people? One day we will all be older people. They're not other people, they're us. Would I like to be thought of as a resource? Or do I have a right to exist as I am? Aging is a triumph of development. That we have this longevity, this ability now to spend time with our grandchildren and even with our great-grandchildren and even with our great-great-grandchildren is a significant development of what civilization and society has made possible since the Second World War. Aging is not the face of the future. Aging is now here. This planet's an older planet. And it's okay. Why are we so terrified of it? Why are we so frightened of that? I think that the role within the post-MDG, within the post-2015 debate, one of the most important aspects that we can work on, having worked on life expectancy, is now to work on healthy life expectancy. But the question is, what does that mean? Am I just a resource? Are you just a resource? What does a healthy life mean to you? What does it mean to me? This is a debate we need to have.
I represent the private sector, and I believe the private sector has an enormous amount to play in healthy aging and in getting aging onto the post-2015 agenda. I felt that aging not being on the MDGs was an enormous gap for many reasons, not least because in many of the populations and communities that we were trying to help with the Millennium Development Goals, people suffering from AIDS, for example, there was an entire generation lost in large parts of the world where caregivers were older people, the so-called orphaned old. And these people were the lifeblood of their families. And the AIDS crisis still continues. Let's not make any mistake about that. However, we have also made enormous progress with the MDGs, despite what some critics may say. And there is a new generation surviving as a result of what happened with the MDGs. So therefore, it seems to me that it is absolutely logical that aging should be in there, should be included. Speaking as an older person, I think we can do that if we lobby together. And the private sector is at the table and willing to make a difference.